Forming an LLC can provide your business with so much flexibility, including liability protection, including flexibility on structure, and even flexibility on tax deduction. That is why in this video, I am going to give you step-by-step guide on how to start an LLC. But before we jump in, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this wealth building information. Now, let's get after it. The first thing you need to do to establish an LLC is decide what name you want to use for your LLC. Many people may choose to use their own names in the name of their LLC. I do not recommend that, but you could do it if you choose to. I recommend you doing a basic search on the Secretary of State website and come up with a unique name for your LLC. Step 2. Once you get a name, you want to file your articles of organization with the Secretary of State. This really signifies that you have started the business. Those articles are going to come stamped with the date that you formed your business, and they're going to come with your Secretary of State ID number. That is going to be the number of your entity that is going to be referred back to anytime you are doing business within your state. So that is an important document that you want to save, and you want to have multiple copies because you will utilize your articles of organization very often. Step 3, and probably one of the most important steps, is creating an operating agreement. And let me make sure you understand what an operating agreement is. An operating agreement is a formal document that specifies exactly how you are going to operate your business. And no, do not tell me, oh, I'm the only person in my LLC. I don't need an operating agreement. You absolutely do, because you need an operating agreement to open up a bank account. You need the operating agreement to state where you're going to open a bank account, how to add members to the operating agreement. It's just very important that you have an operating agreement, because this really validates the fiscal responsibility of your business, if you will. And it's required by a lot of lenders and a lot of financial institutions. Step 4. Once you have acquired your operating agreement, now you want to go to irs.gov and you want to acquire an E.I.N number. E.I.N stands for Employer Identification Number. And I know you may be thinking, I'm not getting ready to employ anybody. I know, but you get an E.I.N number because IRS will then issue your federal identification number, and IRS is the only organization that can issue that number. That number becomes almost like the Social Security number for your business, and you will maintain that number throughout the life of your entity. That is something that you will then receive a letter in the mail, which will be your SS4 letter that specifies this is the name of your business that IRS has on file. This is a tax form you will need to file, and this is the E.I.N number associated with it. Many times, banks and financial institutions will not only ask for the number, they will ask for the SS4 letter, which is the number of the form that IRS will send you when they issue that E.I.N number. You also may want to register with other state taxing authorities. If you are going to pay payroll through your LLC, if you're going to hire individuals, you may need to register with the Employment Development Department or the State Comptroller's Department, depending on what department regulates that in your particular state. But you will need to secure an ID number for them if you are indeed going to do that as well. Step 6. Making sure you follow all the compliance and secure a business license. Many of the counties that you do business in, many of the cities require you to have a business license. You've now registered with the Secretary of State. That's at the state level, but governments govern down from the state level down to the county level, down to the city level. The city that you're operating in may require you to get a business license. So make sure you contact your city and secure the appropriate business license. Step 7, Setting up a business bank account. This is the very next step that you need to do. And this step is really important. Many of you may be thinking, I will just use my personal bank account to operate my business. I am going to tell you, absolutely not. Do not do that. Why? Number one, you don't want to commingle funds with your personal dollars and the dollars made from your business. Number two, IRS requires you to have a separate checking account. So make sure you set up a separate checking account, which is gonna make it a lot easier when it comes time for you to file your income taxes. When you go to the bank, make certain you take your articles of organization, your operating agreement, and your SS4 letter that shows your E.I.N number. I also wanna give you a bonus step, which is going to be step 8. Make sure you get with an accountant to set up your appropriate books and records. I cannot stress this enough. So many of you go out and establish these LLCs, but you never ever get your accounting on track. Therefore, you make it extremely difficult to get your taxes prepared. You're gonna miss out on tax deductions, and your business is not gonna grow as fast as it should because you're not gonna have a barometer on your numbers. If you ever needed to get a loan, a bank is gonna wanna see a current profit and loss, P&L, or financial statement. So make certain you set up your books and records, make your life easier, and make your tax person's life easier. At the end of the day, setting up an LLC when you follow these steps I've outlined in this guide is not going to be difficult. Making sure you get it done is going to be imperative so that you can focus on growing your business and not focus on compliance. So make sure you get it done. And now that you know better, it's absolutely time for you to do better. I need you to share this video. I need you to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this wealth building information. Now go get after it.